This is Buffalo's Uncensored Sports Show. You're watching Buffalo After Dark.
Welcome, Buffalo After Dark, everybody. It is Wednesday night, September 20th, and of course, we got the Flow crew here with us. So if you want to jump on, 929-205-6099, we'll be here for the full hour. And of course, don't forget to check us out on Spotify. You can actually listen to us on the go, thanks to the Apple and Google Play stores now. But first, we'll say hi to everybody. Mr. Tiny Hands Hansen, who got his ass kicked by me in fantasy football, thanks to Nick Chubb blowing his knee out. How you doing?
Get fucked. I lost Nick Chubb for the fucking season, you fucking asshole.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah, gingers have no souls either, okay?
Hey, it puts me 2-0, so it's a good start to the season.
There you go.
Now I have to deal with this fucking idiot on the bottom of my screen. God damn it. Now I gotta deal with Adam this fucking week. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, if you know what, I won't be a threat unless fucking Jamar Chase and fucking Burrow pull their heads out their fucking asses.
Isn't Burrow?
I don't even know what to expect at this point.
Well,
All I know is I'm just
no,
hoping
man.
to stay alive. I have no run game
Jesus
whatsoever
Christ.
now that Chubb is out for the season.
Well, you know what? I got Pollard if you ever need a running back.
Well,
There you go.
I'm thinking about it, but we'll see. So
You know what? The trade offer I got today, I was so close to taking it. It was so fucking close.
Was that a trade offer Andy ended up giving you?
Yeah, he offered me CMC, DJ Metcalf, and Chris Olev for Jetta.
Oh, damn.
and he came to me for advice, and I told him specifically to
because I didn't really want to trade him, but fuck me, I love McCaffrey. Like Jesus Christ, I was thinking about doing it 1-for-1 at one point, and I was like, my God, my points will go to shit if he gets hurt. I'm fucked.
Right.
So.
And McCaffrey's having a great start to the season too. But
Yeah.
But as soon as I take him, he gets fucking hurt.
yeah, exactly. Because I remember that happened last year, I think, or the year before.
Yeah, I had him 1 year, and he fucking went down for 6 games, and I was like, oh, thanks. Perfect,
Right.
Perfect. Just perfect.
Exactly. No, I got you. But anyways, Luffy, how's your day going?
Oh fuck. The last 10 days have been fucking brutal. So 160 hours in 10 days. That's what I've worked.
Damn,
that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
man. As
So
I
I'm
say,
about ready to murder someone or murder people or just murder people in general. I don't know.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you, worst case after the show, if you want to hit indica or anything like that and just pass out for a while, go for it.
It wouldn't take much today, that's for sure.
Yeah, I got you. Then you
Just
got
go full force.
Yeah.
there you go. Got nothing to lose at this point. And then of course we got Mr. Hazu in the bottom corner here. How's it going?
Doing well.
Good.
You got lucky. You got lucky.
Oh, good.
In other leagues, I got lucky too.
Dude, I'm so mad I lost Nick Chubb for
half
the
my
season.
team didn't suck ass, I would have been fine. I had a pretty good lead at one point, and then Rob just destroyed me in the end.
Yeah. Well, it makes it feel better. I only scored 66 points in my money league because I got totally destroyed on that. And I'm like, and I ended up losing one of my QBs, which was even worse. So I'm like, oh, that sucks. Should have played Richardson over Lawrence because I can play 2 QBs. And I'm like, shit, Richardson's out with a concussion. So
Well, that's that.
yeah.
I had a great start to the week, like I always do, because I had Cousins and Jetta, and they did great. They launched me off with 50 points, and then fucking the wheels that fell off the fucking track.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's nuts, but there is always this week. So, we'll talk a little bit about Nick Chubb in a few moments here too, because anyone who saw that, you did not want to see that knee injury. That was absolutely brutal.
That's not just season ending. That's career
ending.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with the way that knee dislocated and everything. I mean, it kind of reminded me of the fact of his injury in 2015 when he blew out the MCL, PCL, and ACL. I'm like, how the hell did he come back after that even?
I'm pretty sure that was when he was playing for the Georgia Bulldogs in the NCAA.
That was. And how he made it back after that. But good Lord, like looking at that injury, I mean, I'm like, Jesus. Yeah, we all know why ESPN decided not to show it. You did not want to see it.
So
Goddamn Steelers and their dirty fucking hits.
Yeah, see, I have an issue with that whole argument about Nick Chubb is like they were willing to show DeMar Hamlin, quote unquote, dying in the middle of the fucking field, but yet they weren't willing to show Nick Chubb on air. Like, what difference did that make? It still happens.
Because
Right.
they weren't trying to show Hamlin, but he just happened to show up. Everyone, it was just a one-off thing. Hopefully, it never happens again. But
Mhm.
Well, I mean, it's still a tragedy what happened with him, but same with Nick Chubb.
yeah, well, at least Nick Chubb's wasn't life-threatening.
True.
And I mean, the way defenders have to tackle, that's unfortunately why we see leg injuries like that.
Yeah.
It's almost like he intentional fucking thing, obviously. But whoever that player was that was on his knees before Chubb went over him, he was already down on the field. He wasn't even like.
Yeah. Did everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to be sure.
And then let's not forget Minka Fitzpatrick had to go to the hospital.
Yeah, after
Because of that hit.
that whole play. Yeah. He was having a pretty good game too.
He was.
Well, I mean, at least for Minka Fitzpatrick, he didn't lose any body parts like a broken leg or a broken arm. He just came out of the hospital after one day. So that's a start.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's
exactly.
playing this week or not yet, but
Yeah, I haven't heard yet either, but I'll tell you, TJ Watt, he had a hell of a good game and got his first ever touchdown on a fumble recovery.
that was great. And became the franchise leader in sacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Pretty
Yeah.
quick.
He's an absolute fucking beast.
Yeah, he's definitely a beast. Great player. So, but what we'll do, let's switch into some Bills talk. And first, of course, for anyone who is watching on our Facebook page, we do have the live comments up and running, so feel free to say hi. And then, of course, we want to welcome our Wall of Famer from last season to the new page as well. So anyone who is following the old page, which is temporarily renamed Buffalo After Dark, we're shutting that page down as of November 1st. So basically, come over to the new page. In the meantime, that's where we're going to have everything going forward. And the good thing is we fully own the new page, so we ain't going anywhere.
No.
So that'll be good. We don't have to worry about any third parties or anything like that. But I do want to say to our Wall of Famer, Sophia, glad to see you watching. Glad to see your mom with watching us as well. And same thing with your dad. You are one badass person, and we're glad you're doing well.
Oh God, I gotta keep my comments to a minimum tonight. Then I guess. God damn it.
No, it was just an honorary mention because she came into as a subscriber.
Watching. I was like, oh God, I can't make my derogatory comments.
No, you can say whatever you want.
You're fine.
She's not even coming on tonight.
That's why I have the disclaimer and everything.
Remember, you gave me permission to say whatever I want, so I can't be held responsible.
Of course.
For it.
Of course.
You're not 15. You're a fucking adult. Just do what you
Yeah.
gotta do.
Yeah. And plus the other thing too is, and I know that they've watched our show even before we inducted her to our Wall of Fame, so they know what we're capable of.
Oh, that's
I
good then.
want to change Bobby's name to Billy the Bobby Goat.
How's that beard oil treating you, Bobby?
You know, I haven't used it in over a month, and I just kind of let it naturally grow in on its own. And people are actually impressed with it. The fact that it's like, wow, it grew in so quickly. And then people ask me, how long have you been growing it? And I said, about a month. And it's like, wow, that's pretty damn fast.
Yeah,
and I
because you had to use the beard oil to grow it in first.
Why isn't there any hair on the front?
I mean,
yeah, really. Right. You're like missing all of this, dude.
Well, I
know what you can be for Halloween.
What?
I have the perfect costume for you.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Billy Goat?
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln.
Like it. Yes,
if I were to be Abraham Lincoln, I would have to shave all this off and just keep the chin.
There you go. Throw that top hat on like Rob was saying.
You could be an Amish farmer.
You know, that wouldn't be a bad Halloween costume to be Abraham Lincoln. I would take that with pride.
That'd be pretty cool, yeah.
Or an Amish farmer. Take that with pride too. Amish people are cool.
There you go. Hey, take a picture on my book. Go to Bayshore for Halloween and watch. You'll have all the rich people probably giving you stuff.
That too. But and some people actually say I look like Chuck Norris with this beard as well.
Okay. All right.
All
Jesus
right.
fucking Christ.
That's a little stretch.
I know. That's what I said.
hope
I'm just
Chuck
like,
Norris
how do I look like Chuck Norris?
I hope he's watching right now. I hope he one punches you in the face and kills you.
Oh, like Walker Texas Ranger style.
Yeah.
You can't fucking
My grandpa loved that
Chuck
show.
Norris. Chuck Norris can be everyone else, but you definitely can't be him.
Fuck.
Oh man. But that was good. That's good.
You know, okay, just so we're on this topic about Chuck Norris. Do you know one time Chuck Norris made ice cubes with fire?
Yeah, well, Chuck Norris also saved the planet from a meteor.
Well, you know Chuck Norris would bang your mom.
Chuck Norris is a legend, so shut the fuck up.
Get that laser tactical flashlight that you can turn paper on fire after it sits on for like
Oh
2 minutes.
yes,
Except
that's
then,
totally what happens.
except then you have to worry about the battery burning you first because it gets so damn hot.
And I'm pretty sure Bruce
It's like
Lee
1,000
kicked his ass.
watts or something.
Wasn't he in like Enter the Dragon or something with Bruce Lee in that movie or something like that where he fucked up Chuck Norris?
I don't know.
I don't remember actually.
I don't remember.
Never
Pretty sure,
happened.
I'm pretty
It
sure
never
it was I'm pretty sure it was Enter the Dragon. I haven't seen that movie in years, but I'm pretty
No,
sure
it
Chuck
never
Norris was in that movie.
I think you're delirious. I don't think that ever happens.
Well, it's definitely not Belly of the Beast because that's Steven Seagal, and of course we know his fat ass can't do anything anymore. But he's still supposedly using stunt doubles to make him look realistic. So, but that's that. But anyways, let's get into some Bills talk here. So the Bills actually came back this week after the meltdown in New York, or actually New Jersey, if we're being technical about everything. They whooped the Raiders' ass. And we actually had a run game that actually was productive. So basically with that, about 184 yards rushing altogether. And James Cook had his breakout game with about 124 yards. And that offense was firing on all cylinders. After that first score, the defense ended up holding the Raiders at 3 points all game. So defense did his job, and they had some really good pressures and looks on Jimmy Garoppolo, who couldn't do jack shit all game. So basically with that, I'm like, hey, news to Dorsey. Use the fucking run game. It actually works.
Yeah, and it paid off.
And well, okay, let's not get too fucking excited here. You beat the fucking Las Vegas Raiders. Like, congratulations. But anyways, you did exactly what you're supposed to do. You get your fucking ass beat by the fucking Jets. You came back in, you beat the fuck out of the Raiders, which, holy fuck, if I could have bet my whole life savings on a
That would
game,
have been a field day.
I would have bet the Bills to beat them by 20 points all day long.
I actually took the Bills in the suicide pool.
Well, did
There
you
you go.
survive the suicide pool, Rob?
Oh well, yeah, of course.
Well,
Okay,
I
good.
would sure as hell hope you did.
Yeah,
Well,
seriously.
fuck, you
Well,
wanna
if he
take the
didn't, he
Raiders?
wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. I'd be out just like my dad was in
You
week
take,
one.
you take the fucking Raiders in that week. You're absolutely, you don't know anything about football, obviously, if you're going to take the Raiders over the Bills.
Yeah.
But they did manhandle the fuck out of them, which, at that one play by Milano, when he fucking jumped over his back and then took the ball out of his hand.
Oh,
he did-
yeah.
Oh,
Take-
that was nice.
It literally sunned Josh Jacobs on that play. Josh
Mhm.
Jacobs got fucking destroyed. And then
Yeah, he
Sure
did.
did.
Well, and
He-
then he tweets it. Then he puts it on his Instagram and does a zoom in on it, and then tags the guy on Instagram. He tagged Josh Jacobs on his Instagram with the picture zoomed in. So he's holding his hands like he's going to catch the ball. And obviously, Milano's on his fucking head and taking the ball away from him. But it's they bitch slapped him, and then they sacked fucking Garoppolo a couple times.
I want to say I don't think there were any actual recorded sacks. It was just all pressures. He couldn't get the ball out.
Maybe that's what it was, but yeah, it kind of looked like a couple plays looked like it should have been a sack, but
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I guess they didn't call them sacks, but
yeah, but man, Gabe Davis had a great day, especially for fantasy football. Holy shit!
you know who
Yeah, I
had
had
a
him
really
benched.
you know who had a really
Sucks
good
to
day?
be you, Rob.
You
I
know who
still won in
surprised-
that league, but
You know who surprisingly had a really good day on Sunday was the run game. Damian Harris and Latavius Murray both had great games
Oh,
against
Murray
the
was
Raiders.
Murray was a bull.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Murray looked like he wasn't 32 years old. He looked like he was 25 out there, and I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, same here. He especially on the one score, he just ran right up the gut and just kept plowing people over. He didn't care. He had one goal, and that's just get over the line.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. I'm just glad though, and I kind of said this last week on the show, was that I said that even though the Bills lost the Jet game, I fully expected them to come back against the Raiders, and obviously I was right about that. But the next game coming up is on Sunday against the Washington Commanders, which is extremely ironic for me because I am actually going to that game. Me and my wife are going to FedEx Field to see the Commanders play the Bills.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you. Washington, D.C., fun city, but FedEx Field is a fucking dump. And here, let's have a little quick prayer vigil for Bobby so he actually comes out there alive and doesn't end up dead in the stadium. In the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, man, Lord Jesus, thanks for giving us this show. And let's hope Bobby comes out of there alive so a stadium deck does not collapse on him. Amen.
Amen.
Don't kill my Billy Goat.
Right?
I hate you.
Oh man.
But on the bright
No.
side, if the Washington Commanders suck, at least you have a brand new scoreboard to look at that they put in because they had to take care of mediocrity somehow.
Wait,
Oh, yeah,
stop.
that's true.
Hold on.
You know-
You're telling me that they put a renovation in for a new scoreboard, yet they couldn't do that within the last 15 years on the stadium. Is that
Yeah,
what you're
well,
telling me?
Yeah,
It
they just
takes-
put a new
it takes-
scoreboard in this year.
Jesus Christ,
makes-
it's like
it
investing in
makes
a Lamborghini and not investing towards your house.
Yeah,
It makes people stare towards the middle of the field and not back at the shit they're sitting in.
exactly. Which actually, if everyone remembers, a couple seasons ago, a pipe full of shit actually did rain on people in that stadium.
That was
Yes,
like 2
that's
years
my
ago.
ironic
Yeah,
comment.
it was
that
like
was
2
my-
years ago.
I'm glad you got that joke because ironic as it was, yes, shit rained down on people in that
Yeah.
stadium.
And then,
Yeah.
last year, remember when the Phillies fans, or when the Philly fans all ended up falling because the railing gave way?
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, yes.
And they had to use zip ties to just keep the
Yeah.
fucking pole intact. It's like Jesus.
That's why we just had the prayer vigil for you, so you and your wife can escape alive.
You know, to
My
tell you the
God.
truth, I am not sitting anywhere near the pipe or those rails. Thank God. I'm literally like slapped in the middle. I think I'm in like section 307 or 207, something like that.
Oh,
And,
so
like-
you're on one of the decks. Yeah, let's
You
just
might
hope that
see-
doesn't
you might-
collapse.
Yeah,
I'm
for
not
real.
sure how that's going to be, but FedEx
You
Field is going to eventually like collapse at some point.
You might see a couple of flaccid wieners in your face. Don't like look directly to your left or look directly to your
Yeah.
right.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
just wait
Yep.
till later the year when I go to Philadelphia. That's going to be.
Oh, the Eagles nest.
Listen,
Oh god, good
of
luck.
all four of us in this
They're not
room
that
as
bad.
we speak, I am the only one that is going into the belly of the beast with Philadelphia fans.
I would say, is Trainer going with you at that game, or?
Yes, he is coming with me to that game, and we mutually agreed to it that we will, in fact, go to the Eagles game. So for me to go face to face with Eagles fans into the belly of the beast in Philadelphia on Black Friday, that's going to be something.
Well, at least
Oh.
you got an Eagle fan with you, so you might not get murdered. You
Right.
might.
Yeah, well, we can't say that about the Dolphins fan who got killed in New England this past
Oh,
week
yeah,
from
of
that
course.
fight.
Yeah, I saw that. That's very, very
Unfortunately.
tragic.
Yeah.
Horrible.
And actually,
Yeah.
and there was a fight that broke out at FedEx Field this past week too, where a Commanders fan decided to take out their aggressions on somebody and just open up a can of whoop ass.
I went to see not an NFL game, but I went to see a Leafs game when I was 18, and I went to Montreal because we were passing through Montreal, so the game was in fucking the Habs Stadium, and you could count on the one side how many Leafs fans were in the stands, and this one guy behind me was like, I know French, and I know he was like chirping me, so I just looked at him. I was like, sorry, I don't understand frog, and he.
Oh,
Damn,
went to
dude.
he went to pour his drink on me, and I was like, I wouldn't do that. And he's fuck you, and then like he went to pour his drink on, I just fucking headbutt him in the face, and I pulled him down my feet and kicked him a few times, and then yeah, I ended up getting kicked out of the game.
Oh wow.
hey,
Yeah.
but at least it was worse for the other person and not you, so that's good.
Oh yeah, he had a nice broken nose, that's for sure.
There you go. Kind of reminds me of like last time when I went to Bills Commanders here in Buffalo. This was actually, I want to say, I think almost 2 seasons ago now. But I remember one of the Commanders fans decided to dump beer all over me and is like trying to start up something, but then they were stupid because the security person was like directly behind them and they got thrown out real quick. But then there was another time me and one of our friends of the show, Doug, went to a Maple Leafs game a few seasons ago, and this was actually before COVID came out, and there was like 15 people that got thrown out from the stands, and there was a big fight that broke out on the 300 level, and they actually had to close off one of the aisleways to get into the main concourse because of the fact that someone's face got so bashed in that they had like broken nose, there's all blood all over the place. So
Oh wow.
they didn't it didn't go very well for that Maple Leafs fan that night.
Oh, he's one of the few that, you know, he's a pussy, obviously. But,
Yeah. But fun times.
But yeah, I am looking forward to going to face with Eagles fans when I go to Philadelphia later in the year.
yeah, you should keep growing that beard and it's something to grab onto when they beat the shit out of you.
You know what? I'm not even going to do anything. I'm just going to wave and say, smile and wave like the Penguins of Madagascar and just be on my way in Philadelphia. And if they try to taunt me or they try to antagonize me, I'm just going to smile. That's what I'm just going to do.
Hey,
Put on my
all you
brave
gotta
face
say-
and hope I don't die.
Bobby, all you got to say is that Jalen Hurts is a mediocre quarterback on a good team.
There you go.
Oh, I'm going to say this. It's not as bad as what's happening to Joe Burrow, at least.
Oh God,
Yeah,
yeah, let's
true.
talk about that because that's a bad situation.
Yeah,
How's
let's
the
talk
fantasy
about
pool
Joey
doing,
Burrow.
Bobby?
The guy
Hey,
who
Bobby,
was so sorry, go ahead.
How's your fantasy pool doing, Bobby?
I think his answer is it's doing like shit.
Yeah, I am not happy one bit about this. Let me actually put my attention on this real quick. For those of you who don't know, I drafted Joe Burrow thinking he was going to be 100% healthy or at least 95% healthy to push through the playoffs. Obviously, that has not happened. Losing to the Browns doesn't justify your case, and especially it doesn't help losing to fucking Baltimore and re-injuring your calf, and while getting paid $275 fucking million, burning that to the ground, and on top of all that, you play like total ass. They don't even have 20 plus points in fantasy under any circumstance. He is so fucking garbage that I have to fucking bench his ass for fucking Jared Goff.
Oh no.
Oh God, good job,
Well, actually,
Burrow.
Goff isn't that bad though.
No, he really
He has a
isn't.
good team. He has a good team.
I
Plus,
wasn't expecting that, but
how do you fucking think I feel? I have Jamar Chase that's got me 6 points last week, and I have fucking Mixon who got me 8.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
what
that's
the
pretty
fuck
bad.
is
Want to
happening?
know how much Joe Burrow got me in the last 2 games since we're talking about him?
Negative?
Yeah, I'm going to show you this now. Let me go to week 1 and 2. In week 1 against the Browns, Joe Burrow, 3.18 points. Week 2 against the Ravens, 16.38.
Ooh, that's
Well, at
bad.
least that's something. Like,
Yeah.
You got close to 20 at least, but
God.
you know, I'll tell you what. See, we're on this topic right now. I'm just gonna go in and look how many points Kirk Cousins got for me the last couple of weeks.
30 plus points.
Well, I'm just saying, like everyone trashes the poor guy, and everyone's like, "Oh, Kirk Cousins is terrible. Kirk Cousins is this." But if you have Jetta and Cousins on the same team, well,
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that helps your case. And when you have Justin Jefferson, probably the best wide receiver in the game.
not to mention, everybody shits on Kirk Cousins all the fucking time, and I'm like, I would take him in fantasy every year because he's the most efficient fucking quarterback in the league, bar down. Because he gets, look at his last 2 games. He's
Yeah.
getting 400 yards a game easy, dude.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, he's been one of the most stable players for the Vikings ever since he joined that team. So, I mean, he's not a bad bet to really go with. And now, especially with the fact that they ended up trading for Cam Akers today, it's you know that definitely helps.
Yeah, they traded I think it was a mid-round pick in 2026 or a conditional 5th. I believe that was in terms of updated status for that trade. But good for Cam Akers getting a chance, to get the hell away from LA and then go to Minnesota for more opportunities. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely happy for Cam Akers.
Yeah, and plus with
Same
the
here.
fact, I mean, they'll run the ball, so I mean, there's no issue with that. And plus, they needed another running back ever since Dalvin Cook decided to sign with the Jets. So,
I can guarantee you Justin Herbert ain't happy about it.
No.
oh,
you know
hell
what?
no.
Oof.
You know what? I will say this. It's just extremely ironic coming from the Vikings only because they get rid of an FSU guy who was completely washed up and then trading for a washed up FSU running back. Think about that. You trade away one FSU running back and you obtain another one for the same position. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Well, but at the same time, isn't like Eckler fucking hurt?
No, we're talking about the Rams, not the Chargers.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. Never mind.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I do have Austin Eckler as well, but yeah,
Yeah,
Eckler is hurt.
he
He
had a
has not
boatload of
practiced this
fucking
week,
garbage.
and I'm getting kind of nervous, to be honest with you.
Rin?
I hear ya. Hey, real quick before we go into our last two topics for our first half hour, of course, if anyone wants to jump on 92920560099. Since you mentioned the Washington Commanders, how about that wild finish against the Broncos with that freaking Hail Mary that ends up having 2 tips?
Oh my god.
And then what happens is that Denver had as good of an onside kick as you could think of. And then basically from there, it led to the Hail Mary. They caught it. Then, of course, they botched the 2-point conversion, and basically Washington came back from over 30 down.
Okay, this is the thing that I don't understand about fantasy. So I had Denver fucking defense. Rob had Washington. Okay. All of a sudden, I end up with 0 points, and he ends up with 10. Like, how is that even? That makes no fucking sense to me.
Right. I mean, Washington's defense was absolute shit in the first half. Denver's defense was absolute shit in the second half. It should all cancel out.
What do you mean? So
Yeah,
it should
right.
be 5 points apiece. It shouldn't be 10 for him and 0 for me.
Right.
It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, I don't know how the defense works in
That's
fantasy,
fucking dumb.
honestly.
One
When
point
you-
I had 7 points. I look back again, I had 0. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
I know.
Yeah. You know it's bad when you trade for Sean Payton and you blow a lead like that. You know it's bad.
Yeah, that is.
And you know what, too?
Oh, man.
I'm
And
actually
they
very
should
happy
have
y'all
won
brought
week
this up.
1.
I
Yeah,
actually
they should have.
because you know what I was gonna say was I found a stat and I actually kept it in my phone, thank God, because I have an interesting fact. You ready to hear some really good laughs,
Mhm.
ladies and gents? Here it is. From CBS Sports, the Denver Broncos have now lost 9 straight games in which they led the lead at halftime, which is the longest streak in NFL history.
Oh,
Oof.
well.
9 straight games where they had a lead and they blew it.
That's rough.
I'm surprised Russell Wilson still had the arm to throw the Hail Mary.
Yeah, for
Seriously.
real.
Seriously. And it's bad enough the Broncos traded for Sean fucking Payton, who hasn't coached in 5 years. Now all of a sudden,
What
he's
could
on the
possibly
team.
go wrong?
Right.
yeah, really.
And Ron Rivera's defense comes back and blows them out in the second half.
Like, what the fuck? You lose
I
to the
know.
Raiders, and then you lose to the freaking Commanders.
Right.
Like,
And they
seriously.
should have been 1-1. They should have never lost to the Raiders. But
I agree.
yeah, but then of course we all know McDaniels is an idiot, and it was funny looking at the Twitter for Vegas afterwards and looking at some of the Raiders sites, and they're like, "Get McDaniels out of here already." I mean, they wanted him gone like a year ago.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, actually.
Yeah, but that being said, right now we'll touch on the last 2 things real quick. First and foremost, the XFL and the USFL have actually merged together, so that'll be interesting to see how that coexists.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Oh.
Rob has a comment on this.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, I didn't think this would actually happen, and I'm wondering how it's going to affect certain teams.
Well, I already know for one that not everybody's going to be there because
Right,
they either
makes
have
sense.
to fold or they're going to have to relocate.
It's just a
No.
matter of who's relocating and who's not.
I'm just glad it's one big lead and not 2.
I
Yeah,
just-
that's going to be nice.
You know what my opinion on this? My opinion is, I don't give a fuck about the XFL, and that fucking stupidly. So yeah, that's my opinion on that matter.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then the last thing we'll talk about in the first half hour, there is some trouble in the Big Apple, and then this comes with the New York Jets. And of course, we've got a couple quick hits, but it deals with Robert Saleh. It also deals with Breece Hall. And basically, Breece Hall is a prima donna because he was bitching that he only got 4 touches the entire game.
Yeah. Okay. The game hinges on you, Breece Hall. Yeah. The game actually has nothing to do with you. and you think you think you're the best running back in the league, and you're just mediocre at best. Get fucked.
Oh man, and
The
everyone
Jets are
wants.
stupid.
There we go.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to say Diggs is like complaining about everything. Diggs isn't half as bad as what Breece Hall ended up coming out with, because Breece Hall is saying, "Oh, hey, we would have won had I gotten the ball more." No, you wouldn't. Your defense sucked.
Yeah.
Hey, you know
So to
what?
quote exactly what he said.
Right.
Sorry, what, Adam?
Go ahead. I'll comment.
What I was gonna say is Breece Hall actually came out with a quote about that situation, and he said, "quote I only got 4 touches. That's why we struggled." And yet, people in the media have the audacity to say that Stephon Diggs is a diva. Dude, look at Breece Hall. That fucker is whining like a bitch because he only got 4 touches throughout that whole game against a really good Dallas Cowboys defense.
Yeah, he
I
wouldn't have
don't
had
know
a
what he
chance.
expected, but
He wouldn't have had a chance either way. He wouldn't. He the only reason he got anything is the Bills is the fact that the Bills had a couple soft spots and he got through. And other than that, like, he is fucking mediocre as they come. He's like fucking Chuba Hubbard on the fucking Panthers. Like, oh my god,
Oh my
every 20 tries he gets like 2 yards. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
I mean,
for
again,
real.
the Jets are stupid because really think about this. Breece Hall doesn't get any touches. Dalvin Cook was no better. Sauce Gardner was whining like a bitch on Twitter because he was being roasted for how he played against the Cowboys. So he's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna track like today's Tony, and he's going back and forth with trolls on Twitter.
And then he deletes X.
Yeah, and then he deletes his X account. And then on top of all that, then the icing on the fucking cake is Robert Saleh confirmed to the media on Monday morning or Tuesday morning, wherever it was, and he said that the Jets are not going to pursue a quarterback. So
that's just
boy.
stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's our
Come
little
on.
tribute. Here's our little
Come on.
visual for Robert Saleh. It's like, oh, Robert Saleh, please
Come on,
continue to be
give
stupid
Colin
so we can
Kaepernick
fire
a
you.
chance. It could be his big break.
Oh my god.
Oh,
And then Aaron Rodgers believes that he's Superman and he's gonna come back from his ruptured Achilles and he's gonna play in the playoffs in January.
that ain't
I don't even know if
happening.
they're gonna make the playoffs.
Good luck with that one.
Maybe he's smoked a little bit too much of that ayahuasca from his darkness retreat that he has every year, and it's still letting it get to his brain.
That
He's
whole
sucking on
darkness
that
retreat
peace
thing just blew up in his head.
Yes,
He's
for
sucking
real.
on that peace pipe. He's sucking on that peace pipe a little too hard.
Or it could be a combination like that one guy who decided to jump in the new stadium pit that was excavated for the Bills, where the guy decides. So last hit, and we'll go in a second half hour, and I see Katie's in the chat. So welcome aboard, Katie. Nice to see you as always.
Oh, is
So-
that the Bruins fan?
No, it wasn't actually. But what happened?
No, you misinterpreted. It's a Katie. She's the
Oh yeah,
Bruins
she
fan.
is. She is.
Right? Get out of here.
But
They got a new captain?
yeah, we'll talk
Get
about
the
that in the
rat.
second half.
Put the rat as the captain.
Yep. But yeah, the Bills fan who decided to let it go too far. So basically, he was covered in piss and shit after like doing something with a porta potty, and then he was also high on LSD, crack cocaine, and marijuana. He somehow scaled a 10-foot fence, then ended up being completely naked and found in the pit that was excavated for the stadium, like 30 feet deep. And then apparently from there, they had to actually like extricate him out. And then he's doing fine. I mean, he was taken to the trauma center, and then even the trauma center didn't want him. So then they shipped him over to another hospital. And apparently
this
from
guy's my
there,
hero. This guy's my hero.
oh jeez! And all he got for it was cited for criminal trespass. I'm like, man, you're lucky you didn't get anything else.
Yeah, for
That is the
real.
most beautiful work of art I have ever heard from anybody who was high on LSD and cocaine. No joke whatsoever.
Oh my god! Like,
Right?
Like, how many drugs can you be high on at one time? And like,
Right.
he probably thought he was Superman saving the city.
For real.
LSD will do some crazy stuff. I mean, weed is nothing, but oh my god. I was almost wondering what would happen if bath salts was thrown into it too.
I think-
It'd be like
Oh, man,
10 days
imagine.
better.
Could you
No, I
imagine
think-
can you imagine like having a conversation with him around Christmas time with his family? Like, oh hey, what was it like to jump in the pit at Bill's construction site for the new stadium?
Oh god.
Yeah.
That's if he even remembers it.
It'd be
No,
drinking
yeah,
some
right?
eggnog to go with that too.
Everybody is missing the point of crack cocaine was probably the reason he fucking was
Probably.
doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
when you're
I'll-
high on coke, that's a pretty big deal.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Yep.
just coke. No, crack.
Yeah,
Crack.
the really strong stuff.
The real cooked up coke.
Yeah.
The you know the burning plastic and I smell sounds. That
Mhm.
kind of shit.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Bobby, just stay out of Kensington and Philadelphia unless you want to see like people mixing like stuff with fentanyl and going like on a total bender all night.
No, I don't feel like it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I might run
you
into
don't
that when I'm in
do it.
Washington.
You know, Bobby, YOLO. You only live once. You might as well try that.
YOLO, maybe if you're a pussy.
Oh man. And then Katie actually wanted to say something to you, Adam. So she basically says, well, she said there's no way in hell that Aaron Rodgers is coming back this season, but she also says, yes, I am a Bruins fan, and you're just gonna have to deal with me. And then she also said Sunday's Patriots game was so out of control, and I think she's referring to the fight.
Oh God, they're
No,
playing the
no.
Jets.
No, okay, Katie. All right, we're gonna have a little conversation, me and you. So I deal with 3 women in my life already. I have 2 daughters and I have a girlfriend. No, I don't deal with Bruins fans. Only time I deal with Bruins fans is when they're like, you know, like getting put out in the first round. I can say that to you now because you guys went out in the first round last year. I didn't.
Oh
God,
ouch.
that's
Yeah.
gloriously beautiful.
Yes.
It is. I waited years to say that. Okay, years.
So, oh, good stuff, man. And of course, Senga's on the mound for the Mets, and Mets are winning 4-2 in the bottom of the 6th. So,
Oh my God.
There's your-
Well,
yeah,
I'm in the finals in fantasy baseball, so
there you go. And of course, the forkball, which was a ball. So, anyways, thanks for joining us on the first half. Second half of Buffalo After Dark is coming up after this.
I'm Tom Wujek, co-host of Buffalo After Dark. Founded by Matthew Keeler, Dishin is a Buffalo-based fashion label focusing on continuous experimentation in hockey. Their work consists of products, content, and experiences that inspire creativity. Playful curation provides energy that sparks a unique perspective and an ideology around seeing the game differently. Now you can save. Log on to justdishin.com and use promo code WUJEK at checkout. You'll save 10% on all of your purchases. That is spelled W-U-J-E-K. Dishin has built an influential following devoted to the infusion of creative expression through high-quality goods and tasteful collaboration. If you love creative products that push the boundaries, check out Dishin. Visit their website at justdishin.com. This is Buffalo's Uncensored Sports Show. You're watching Buffalo After Dark.
Welcome back to Buffalo After Dark, second half of the show. If you want to jump on and on the chat, we have Facebook Live up and running. And of course, you can call in 929-205-6099. And of course, if you're on the go and want to listen to us even after the fact, join us on Spotify. We are available in on the iTunes and also in the Google Play Store. So with that being said, let's jump right into our first baseball news, and then we're going to jump into hockey to round out the half hour. But first thing, of course, that came up, Tampa, they finally got the approval on the stadium, so they're actually going to get out of that dump known as Tropicana Field.
it's about time.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what's your opinion about this, Rob? Because obviously you're a Tampa Bay Rays fan.
Very happy about it. It's a long time coming, and I'm excited to see what they do with the surrounding area. I think it's going to attract a lot more people, and hopefully with that, more people will go to games.
I mean, I'm going to just say this now. As much as I'm happy for the Rays to be staying in Tampa Bay or in St. Petersburg, the renderings of your new design building looks like shit. I'm not going to lie. It looks like the fucking Illuminati pyramid.
Yeah, I saw that too.
The
Like,
pyramid.
Yeah, the pyramid.
Yeah.
That caught me off guard, honestly.
Right. Although it was funny because there were some new renderings that came out, and actually I found this on Depressed Ginger's page, which I mean, forgive it for what it's worth, but they actually did have some updated outfield designs within. I guess there's going to be the Stingray tank still, so they're going to have that. But I guess there's supposed to be more windows in the outfield now where you can actually see the skyline, and they're going to do something similar to the upper decks like they have in Houston over at Minute Maid Park. So I mean, it doesn't look bad, but Jesus, the pyramid.
Yeah, interesting choice.
Just need Sauron's eye in the middle of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
And yes, I am a big fan of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Or do what they do in Vegas when you go to the Luxor, throw freaking King Tut at the front of the entrance of the pyramid. And there you go. So, but good to see that you guys are getting a new ballpark finally, though, because I mean, Tropicana it's got to be one of the worst in the league, if not the worst in the league. But it said something like 30,000 seat stadium, probably have like another 5,000 for standing room or something like that. So
and for other events.
Yeah. So that'll be good, and you actually get natural light in the park finally.
Good.
Yeah, and
Goodbye,
it's also
relocation rumors.
Yeah. Nashville, Orlando was brought up at one point, but that's dead now.
That split season with Montreal, which was just complete BS to begin with.
Yeah. Well, Montreal couldn't support the team when they were up there originally. And
oh, my
exactly.
God. You know, I'm going to say
but then Olympic Stadium was a total dump also.
I will say this. I think the Expos, I don't know if Adam will agree with me on it, but I think the Expos should definitely come back to Major League Baseball as an expansion team.
I agree. But at the same time, I don't give a fuck enough about baseball to give a fuck.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean, there's some there's 2 topics left on baseball, and then we're going to hockey. So hang in there.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna sit here and get high while you fucking.
At least he's honest.
Yeah, dude, be honest. That's all we gotta do.
Yeah.
Be honest, man.
Yeah. As I say, so Adam, since you want to get high, what kind of weed do you want to smoke?
I'm smoking a distillate in my vape pen right now, so I'm already.
There you go.
Smoking.
Perfect.
I'm already big.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. So the new Ray Stadium as a whole, there's actually some details on it too. Number 1, I said it before, it looks like the Illuminati pyramid. Number 2, it's going to have a 30,000 seat stadium, and it's going to be right next door to Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. So I don't know how that's going to work. And it will cost over $1.2 billion to build, and it will have a fixed dome and an artificial turf just like Tropicana Field. And it will be a massive step up from their current home. And the official announcement was set to be made on Tuesday. So the question is, when does the Tampa Bay Rays get their new stadium, Rob? Do you have any speculation of when that comes in?
2028.
Okay. So 5 years.
Yep. Because their current lease with Tropicana ends in 2027.
So
Okay.
4
Makes
years.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that should be time to give them, time to break ground and get everything set. Because usually a stadium, you can build it in 2 to 3 years. So once you have everything ready to go, and I will say, it's kind of interesting. You mentioned artificial turf. We're seeing more and more of that come back into Major League Baseball now. I mean, think about it. Arizona Diamondbacks, they had natural grass. They use artificial turf now. Miami Marlins, same thing. They had grass. Now they switch to turf. Texas Rangers, turf in their stadium. Blue Jays have always had turf. And then there's some others that have switched to it as well. So, but apparently, I guess what they've done is a company figured out a way to make the artificial turf actually react like natural grass. So this way the ball's not taking any funny hops or anything like that. So if anyone wants to actually look it up, it's called B1K. So
sounds like a boy band.
Yeah. Well, it uses coconut shell infill to help slow the ball down so it rolls like it would on natural grass.
How does that even work? Like, I'm literally trying to figure how that is. If they're using coconut shell to stop the ball from bouncing consistently within the ground.
Yeah, they're using that instead of that rubber pellet infill stuff.
That just sounds dumb. I'm sorry.
Okay, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have to chime in here. I have to. Does anybody else feel like this is the dumbest topic we could ever fucking talk about tonight?
Well, here's when it gets even worse. The Oakland A's, we already know what the result of that vote's going to be in November. They're leaving Oakland whether they like it or not.
Yep.
And at least the Coliseum won't see any more baseball because that dump will be torn down finally.
Where's fucking Katie? Want to come back with a burn for me? Like, I need
Why
a comeback, Katie. Come on. This is
Why didn't you
boring.
just bring her?
Here's one. Here's one. So she said the only somewhat interesting thing that happened to my team is that they fired Chaim Boom and Bloom. Other than that, I can take the roasting.
Oh, Slay Boone. Yeah, he was the GM of the Red Sox. They did a horrible job with managing their pitching.
Oh,
sucked.
man.
Big time.
Yeah,
Her
Bloom.
bullpen's brutal.
Yeah, Shane Bloom sucked. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with the Red Sox at this point. They're just a dump. But in general, though, the Oakland A's, that's another team that has to be situation, is that the MLBPA and the MLB in general and the owners are going to vote on the relocation of the Oakland Athletics to Las Vegas in November. And all they need is a 75% approval for the move, and they will pack their bags to Vegas.
Oh, they'll get it because it means that teams will get way more money in revenue than what they get in Oakland. So that's a done deal. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, I think it's really heartbreaking what they're doing with the A's. They should really be investing into a new stadium in Oakland. But the thing is, everybody's leaving. The Raiders left a few years ago, and now the Athletics are the next one in. So it's almost like Vegas, like Las Vegas as a city, has become the older brother of Oakland. The Vegas Golden Knights, even though they're an expansion team, the Vegas Raiders, they came in from Oakland, and then soon to be the Athletics, they're going to be coming in from Oakland to Vegas. It's almost like Oakland is just this shithole that nobody really wants to go to. The education system down there is going to suck in less than 10 years. And then on top of all that, they got bigger issues to worry about than a brand new stadium in Oakland, honestly.
Well, just remember the people of Oakland voted down the stadiums for the Raiders and they voted down the stadium for the A's. So it's their own doing. But then again, just remember this. If you go to Oakland, there's a thing called the Iron Triangle. And if you don't know what it is, look it up.
Well, I mean, baseball is a business, so at this point, you got to do what's best. I mean, it sucks to see the A's moved out from Oakland to Vegas, but that's just part of the business. It happened with the Thrashers. I mean, we talked about it last week on the show, where they moved from Atlanta to Winnipeg. It's just part of the business, and they're bringing it back a third time.
Yep.
So,
You
again,
want to know an interesting fact?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Just to lighten it up for the viewers that are actually watching. Did you know that Chuck North doesn't breathe? He holds his air hostage.
There you go.
I love how we go from the A's to Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
God, we're still going this whole Chuck Norris thing.
But there is possible speculation that A's might get an expansion team at some point. So who knows what'll happen?
What's the point if they're gonna just move the A's? It doesn't make any sense.
Move them where?
Yeah,
I don't even know where.
Right. But who knows? But then really the last part of baseball we wanted to talk about today is Shohei Ohtani, because of course he is done for the season. He cleaned out his locker, and now where does he go? Does he stay with the Angels? Does he go to the New York Yankees? Does he go to the New York Mets? Or does he go some other place?
He goes to the Blue Jays.
It's funny. Honestly,
I would pay to go there and watch games there.
Yeah, I would too, 100%.
Yeah, it's funny because I wouldn't be surprised if the Blue Jays at least attempted to try, because of the fact that, it's a big market and the Canadian dollar is much higher in taxes in Canada than it is in America. And for Shohei to go over to Toronto, I think would be a benefit for him.
Are you fucking Gary Bettman?
I'm trying to promote your team, not destroy it. I may be a Mets fan, but I'm being honest.
Every player that gets signed in the fucking NHL, the MLB, they're like, oh no, I can't go to Canada because the dollar's so shit. Fuck off.
No,
they're gonna go to
Dollar
Canada.
ain't that bad.
I mean,
if they want to play for a fucking team, they're gonna go play for a fucking team. That goddamn Canadian dollars ain't make that much fucking difference to them that they're not gonna play for the fucking team. Get over yourself, Gary Bettman.
all I said was one thing, and I pissed him off.
Right. And actually, Katie says she really hopes that Shohei stays with the Angels, but if he did go somewhere, she feels it would be New York. Then she also says, Rob, she loves your hat. And then she also said, she's referring to the Red Sox. We're a dumpster fire for sure. So
try being a Mets fan, then we'll talk.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? You're right, Bobby. The Mets are absolute hot shit garbage.
Well, their bullpen sucks. So
I've seen the Mets play 5-6 times this year, and at only all but one game, they have completely tortured my soul.
Yeah, I was there with you for 2 of them.
Yeah. And we got to watch Shohei Ohtani kick the shit out of him all by himself. Rob was there
Pretty
too.
much,
Yeah, Rob was there with us for one of them. So
that was fun.
torture. I'm sorry. I love Shohei Ohtani, but to watch that, Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with that.
And then we see a pitcher get knocked out.
Oh yeah, that
oh
too.
yeah, Alonso get beamed twice and once in the head in the 8th inning, which
Poor guy.
caused the benches to clear.
Oh yeah. So
but actually, Bobby, Katie does say something to you here in the chat. She says, "Hey, at least you're not tied with the Yankees for last place, Bobby."
dude, fuck the Yankees. Let's put it that way. Anyway,
I'm in Yankee territory. I know the feeling.
God.
yeah. So anyway, what I was trying to say before is because of the comment that Tom made about Ohtani clearing out his locker and possibly leaving, it's also been said that he went under successful surgery on his elbow and will be kept away from pitching until 2025, but it does not stop him from being a designated hitter, which leads to the next part about all this is that the New York Mets are willing to spend money. So it's being said from John Harper, who is an analyst for SNY. He said, quote, if Shohei Ohtani is willing to come to the East Coast, every baseball person I spoke to fully expects Steve Cohen to make a big offer to Shohei Ohtani. And it's also been said that the Mets are also not worried that he won't pitch in 2024. So in other words, the Mets are willing to pay him when he wants without having to be in consent of pitching and rather just him being a designated hitter, which depends on the year and it depends how much the length is and it depends on the money. Pay him. Pay the fucker. The guy can hit and he can pitch. And even if he doesn't pitch for 1 year, I'm fine with that.
But
But
why though?
he'll be able to hit fully too.
Like, why though, Bobby? Why? Why are you going to bring on another contract on a team that already has the most?
Well, because the Yankees are, because the Mets have been the little brother to the Mets for years, and the Mets have to
Wait,
finally.
the Mets
start
have been
paying-
a brother to the Mets?
No, the Yankees. I'm saying the Yankees have been spending money for years. The Mets with the Wilpons when they were the owners did nothing. And that's not including the fact that they got Citi Field, and that was almost 15 years ago. But what I'm saying is that when if the Mets were still owned by Fred and Jeff Wilpon, they
would be not even in the conversation right now.
Exactly. They wouldn't be nowhere near this conversation, and he would probably end up in pinstripes. But because Steve Cohen is arguably the highest paid owner in terms of dollar among all of the owners in baseball, he could definitely go out and get the damn guy if he's willing to do it. And that's also the fact that they might be able to get Yoshimoto to come over from Japan. So that way you would have a three-handed monster because you already have Kodai Senga there. So imagine Senga, Yoshimoto, and Ohtani all on the same team.
That would be a scary bullpen.
Insane.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
The Mets would definitely be in contention if that's the case.
Oh, by the way, Ohtani, how much did the broken scoreboard at Citi Field cost you? We actually saw that he busted the ribbon that was like brand new.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it made the panel black out. But hey, note to Steve Cohen, if you're actually watching a show, who cares about the luxury tax, man? Just spend the money. So I'll tell you that. And actually, Katie says, just as long as he doesn't go to the Yankees, I'm happy wherever he goes. Then she also says,
that makes all of us.
Yeah. And then she says,
Shohei to Queens.
Yep. And then she says, I wish Boston would spend money.
Dude, you have
feeling.
multiple World Series rings. Sit down. You won one 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Right.
Just saying.
The
Sit
curse of
down.
that Bambino.
And then the one guy we gave a bunch of money is still under investigation, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. And then just remember, Kurt Schilling actually played with that torn ankle or whatever. For
the
one of
bloody
World Series.
sock.
Yep. We remember that. But oh man, good times. But anyways, before we get into our last topics of the night, if you want to give us a call, 929-205-6099. Also, we've got the live chat up and running. So let's jump right into hockey. And there was some interesting stuff, but we'll just do a real quick take on this. The Bruins have new uniforms. It is what it is.
I think Adam wants to say something because his older brother is down up there with new uniforms that make the Leafs look like average bitches. Did he leave?
No,
I don't know.
He's still there.
I think he's high as fuck.
I for one like the
Probably.
new jerseys though.
He's two-turned Adam. That's what we're going to call him now.
Oh, God. Yeah, he might have taken a little bit too much off the pen.
Yeah, I
Oh.
think so.
He's high as fuck.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, there, yeah, okay, that confirms that he is high. So,
Woo!
all right, but no. So the Bruins are getting new uniforms. Katie, if you have any comments, feel free to drop them in the chat.
I know you're gonna want to say something about those jerseys.
Yep.
They look
But
clean.
which she actually did just say something. So she's like, oh hell yes, the player everyone loves to hate is our captain, and I'm ready for the chaos.
Oh my god. She's referring to Brad Marchand.
Marchand.
Yeah, that's the other big news coming out of Boston right now.
For the record, I don't hate the guy.
Oh my god. Fuck!
I'd love him on my team. You kidding me?
Right.
I'd
He's
love a
someone-
player like that.
Yeah.
He's a fucking pez.
He's someone you hate to play against, but he is absolutely somebody you would love to have on your team.
It also doesn't help that not only is Marchand captain, and not only do the Bruins have really nice jerseys now with the 100th anniversary thing, but you also have Milan Lucic back there, you fucking degenerates.
Oh, Jesus. Hey, Luffy's back.
He's high as fuck.
I have no idea what happened. I just stopped like.
We're talking about your favorite team, the Boston Bruins.
Your
Oh,
older brother.
As I was saying, nobody gives a fuck that they have new uniforms. Nobody cares that they promote the fucking rat to a captain.
God.
Oh,
can't
perfect
imagine.
timing.
Oh, and we were thinking you dropped off because you were completely high.
No, it's just the fuck. Whatever the fuck happened. I was talking and you guys are like, "Oh, I guess he's all high. He's not fucking there." No, I was right there.
We knew you were
Oh,
alive.
no.
We knew you were alive. You were probably just too turned at that point. So that's why we gave you the nickname Two Turn Adam.
You know what? You're a fucking retard.
But the Bruins New Jerseys are pretty stellar. I think they should move forward with them even after this past year. I
Yeah,
know
make
it's a
them permanent.
100th anniversary special thing, whatever it is, but the only criteria I have with one of the three jerseys is the alternate cream jersey. Why is 1924 across the uniform when you could have just put it like on the outskirt of the circle? That could have been better, but nope, they go directly in the middle and it just completely ruins it for me.
Yeah. And actually, Katie said she loves the jerseys personally, but she's torn between the black one or the white with the 1924 across.
Tell you the truth, I like the white one a lot better.
Well,
If you want my opinion.
there you go. Well, and I see Adam dropped off again, so that's all right. But moving right along, Mike Babcock is officially out as the head coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets after the whole little story that broke last week that we told you about the show about how he's basically invading everyone's personal phones and invading everyone's privacy.
Yep, they finally got axed after the whole allegations. And the Columbus Blue Jackets went for immediate damage control, basically saying, oh, we thought he changed, or oh, we thought he was going to be a good person and a good leader. Yarmo,
Nope.
I'm sorry, but you learned absolutely nothing from your time from hiring John Tortorella. So sit the fuck down before you lecture us about, oh, he's changed.
Gotta apologize to Bizanet now.
Oh, man. Yeah. And here's Katie's reaction to it. Well, actually, Andy's in the chat. He says the Bruins jerseys suck. And then, hey, nice to see you, Andy, if you want to jump on. And then Katie says, referring to Babcock, what a fucking creep.
Yeah, really.
For
And
real,
then it's
you're
gotten
not wrong.
It got so bad that Pascal Vincent, one of Babcock's assistant coaches that was supposedly going to be in the lineup, is now the new head coach just out of dignity. Like, that's how desperate Columbus is now for a coach. And all the good ones are available or out. They had their chance and they fucking blew it with Mike Babcock.
Are we
So-
surprised?
Nope.
Yeah.
It's Columbus.
You should have kept Torts. You wouldn't have had this problem.
True.
Yeah, but instead
So
they
true.
dumped Torts for fucking Brad Larson, who was just as worse as Tortorella. But you know what, though? At least John Tortorella got the Blue Jackets a playoff win in the in their
Exactly.
history.
That's
right?
true.
Like him or not, he has won. and
Yeah.
and
That he
Babcock
has.
couldn't survive in Toronto, so
Like, one thing I don't understand about Columbus is how the hell did they keep Jarmo Kekalainen for his job as GM for over 10 years?
Makes no sense, honestly.
It really
Seriously.
doesn't. I mean, I know they're trying to be hip, but I don't know what to think of them. I mean, I want them to be successful. I want them to be a good team, but it feels like Kekalainen with his drafting and with his trades and his free agent signs, 90%, almost like 70% of the moves he's made in the last decade have backfired on them, like horrendously.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's bad, and that's including my Babcock. It's like, what do you do in that situation? Why wasn't this addressed months prior? It would have given you more time to go and find another coach, but instead they go and just pick out the one that Babcock already had in play. It's kind of like the Islanders when they fired Barry Trotz, which I still despise. You're letting him go, and then Lane Lambert then becomes the new head coach after being an assistant for 25 years, and he is a quote unquote Barry Trotz guy. And he has so far shown he's not the guy. I'm sorry. But
here's a perfect thing to sum up like everything Jarmo Kekalainen has done. Remember when we did our draft special a couple seasons ago and they drafted the person that was not even on the stats?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, God.
He wasn't even in like the top like 500 or something.
What was his name? I forget.
Yegor Chnikov.
Isn't he good though?
Not
at least
exactly, but apparently he is somewhat on a stat sheet now. So,
well, I mean, when you get drafted, I think you're immediately on the stats sheet.
Yeah, he wasn't even in the top 200, and he was drafted 21st overall in 2020.
I feel like 2020 as alone was just a really weird year with the pandemic, and then with the virtual draft, and then with no fans at the time, and now you have this shit going on, and he's been in their development system for like what, 3 years now, almost 4, and he's on the verge of possibly making the team. It could be a star in the league. I don't know, but there has been some hits and there's been some busts. So really, I don't know what to think of him. I don't really know what to think of Columbus. They're just another team in the NHL with an incompetent ownership and an incompetent management. That's how I look at it.
Well, here's the interesting thing. So basically, the last 5 games, he's had 0 points, 0 anything. So that gives you an idea there. But in 2021-22, they actually had him for 62 games with the big club. So they just moved him right into it after he was not even ranked. And he basically actually ended up having 7 goals, 7 assists, 14 points. He actually was a +1, but yet somehow, when you look at PIM, he was a -27.
Yeah, I'm looking at that as well.
And then,
I don't understand that.
And then he played 30 games in 2022-23. He only scored 4 goals, 9 assists, 13 points, +1 for the ranking, but then -6 for PIM. And his average time on the ice is anywhere between 12.5 minutes to 13 minutes, 15 seconds or whatever. And he had a 0% faceoff percentage his first year. And then he was 33.3 last year. So.
All right, steadily improving.
A little bit better, but
yeah, but that's not saying much.
True.
Yeah, for someone
Especially
not even in the top
team.
200. So, but
That's
yeah, that's pretty crazy. So yeah, that's one way to sum up the nice little makings of Jarmo Kekalainen. But Andy said if he was home, he'd jump on and say hi to everybody. So good to see you're doing all right, man. And let's hit the last 2 topics before the end of the night, because we're actually coming up to the top of the hour. But Tanner Pearson got traded.
Okay, this is an interesting trade for those who missed it. So the Vancouver Canucks were supposedly shopping Tanner Pearson, and they found a buyer. And it turns out the winner of the Tanner Pearson sweepstakes is the Montreal Canadiens.
Ooh.
Yeah. So for those who want to know, the Vancouver Canucks have traded Tanner Pearson and a 2025 third-round pick to the Montreal Canadiens in exchange for goaltender Casey DeSmith. Like, why? Why Casey DeSmith?
Penguins fans called him Casey DeShit.
I don't blame them.
That's a true statement.
Yep.
I don't blame them. What kind of hold on 1 second. What kind of drugs are the Canucks on at the moment? Seriously, who went into Patrick Alvain's office and just said, "Hey, Patrick, there's a goaltender out there we can really use." Oh, really? Who's that? We need one so bad. Oh, let's go get Casey the Smith. Oh, how much do you think he's gonna cost? Oh, I don't know. Let's just give him a third round fucking draft pick with Tanner
Elvain's an
Pearson.
idiot.
They got a third for him?
Wow.
Yeah, Montreal
Those guys
robbed them blind.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice there was a third. I thought it was just Tanner Pearson straight up.
No, and I'm just
Oh, it's
like,
even worse.
it's like, wow, you guys are stupid.
Yeah, Montreal destroyed them 10 ways of Sunday on that trade. So
Oh yeah,
but watch. But then Patrick Elvain is like, oh, what's new for the Canucks this season? Oh, we're gonna have a brand new 4K scoreboard like all the other teams are doing that suck.
oh my god.
They
And
got
yet,
more for DeSmith than the Devils got for Blackwood.
you know, I have something to say
Or
to the Vancouver.
Glasswood.
I actually have something to say.
Except I will say this, Rob. You guys got the 4K scoreboard a couple seasons ago, and at least your team
Oh,
doesn't
it's so
suck.
nice. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you have the second biggest indoor scoreboard anywhere for any
It's
arena.
beautiful.
Yeah, but as far as Vancouver goes, did the Canucks just all of a sudden forget they had Mike DiPietro in their development system? Like, hello, you have Thatcher Demko, and then you have Mike DiPietro. So why don't we just give all these guys free weed? Because I think that's what the Canucks have been doing for the last 10 years. And let's just go and get an incompetent goalie who can't stay healthy and is inconsistent, and Casey fucking DeSmith. Like, whose brilliant idea was it to trade for this guy? That's what I want to know.
Spencer Martin, too.
Makes me wonder if Adam gave him either the shatter pen or gave him some of that indica strain that knocks you out.
But
Or
I
30
will-
milligram gummy or something.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I will say this though. I give Montreal a lot of credit only because you get a third round pick in 2025 with Tanner Pearson, but Kent Hughes, the GM of the Montreal Canadiens, was willing to take Casey DeSmith, who obviously they got in the Erik Karlsson trade back in July. He was able to find a trade partner for him 2 months after the trade and flip him to get more assets. So you get something there, you get rid of something there, and you retain something back for him. So I think this is why I think in less than 3 or 4 years, the Montreal Canadiens are going to be a very good team. And I hate saying that because Kent Hughes is really building this team from the ground up. But will it work? Because now at the point with the Montreal Canadiens, they're getting assets that they filled up their bottom six and they get a mid-round pick for him. So I think in generally speaking, Montreal fleeced Vancouver in that deal.
Oh,
the fact
for sure.
that fact they got a third round is fleecing it in itself.
Fucking Vancouver. Seriously.
They were stupid.
I would
on
love
that
to-
one.
I would love to have the optimism drugs that they were on. Seriously.
Right?
Right. Oh, and if anyone needs optimism drugs, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning because Steven Stamkos is not on good terms with them right now.
Okay, Rob. Fire away, buddy.
Yeah, I think I know what Breeze Ball wanted to do was get him and Nick Paul done, and obviously he got Nick Paul done, and I think that annoyed Stamkos a bit. Because he thought he would have priority, but that's not the case.
Yeah, I mean, he's already pissed off about this whole contract negotiation thing. And obviously, he's like, I can't write my own contract myself. It's like he wants to stay in Tampa Bay, but they don't want to give him $10 million like they did 8 years ago.
No, of course not. I don't even think they can, really.
Right.
Yeah,
And especially now since he's on the other side of the prime of his career and plus coming off that nasty leg injury he had. I mean,
That and they re-signed Hagel.
yeah.
Yeah, Hagel, Kucherov, Vasilevsky. Tampa Bay is not getting any younger. I think at this point with the Lightning, it's nice to have the band together. But in reality, I think Rob is facing this pretty much with San Jose because I know he's a Sharks fan as well. Yeah,
Oh,
Sharks,
yeah.
Devils, and Lightning, for those who want to know. But primarily like the Sharks. But he saw this firsthand with San Jose. They traded for Carlson, they traded for Burns, and they did absolutely nothing with it. And they tried to build a good team with Joe Thornton and Patrick Marleau and wasted the prime years with that core because they consistently choked in the playoffs.
And Doug
And-
Wilson doesn't know what a rebuild/retool is, and
Which
that's
is
why
like-
they're where they are now.
And he's apparently now a scout member or some sort of director for
Staff advisor, I think, or something for
the
the.
God for the
Pe-
Pittsburgh
Penguins,
Penguins
was
with
it?
Kyle
Yeah.
Dubas.
Yeah.
God almighty in
Oh,
heaven.
God bless.
Yeah. It actually Andy had some interesting comments too. So he ended up having a chance to go to the Sabres Prospects Challenge, and he ended up saying Benson and Savoy were great, and Novikov on D was also great. So that's good to see. And then his thought process is maybe the Canucks are lining up to trade Demko to Buffalo, which I would love it if that happens. Hey, let's take one of your good goaltenders.
Wait a minute, who said that about Demko?
Andy.
Listen,
he thinks the Canucks are he thinks maybe the Canucks will line up to trade Demko.
I'm going to say this now.
If they're that stupid to do to Smith.
No, here's what's going to happen. They're not going to trade Demko. Number one, he's their best goaltender on the team. Casey DeSmith is a fucking backup. They're not going to trade fucking Dr. Demko to make room for Casey DeSmith. I think if anything, Mike DiPietro is going to be the one that's going to be the odd man out because of the fact that he's been in their farm system for God knows how long. We don't even know how long he's been there. He's been there for God knows how long. And the Vancouver Canucks are now in the situation where they trade for a backup with Demko, and then they have to possibly trade one away. It's like, how do you manage to do that? It's beyond my imagination. But at that point, you have to really think to yourself, was it worth trading for DeSmith? Because I think if I would say the only exception for the DeSmith trade is if he went to a team like Colorado who needs a goaltender because they desperately need one outside of Georgiev, and trading him in and then have him be the backup, I think that would make more sense. But him to go to fucking Vancouver makes no sense at all because, again, you're wasting another development year of Mike DiPietro.
He's not even on cap friendly.
Yeah. And Andy's thought was that Demko probably wants out, just given the situation with the team, which it wouldn't surprise me. But then he was thinking is, well, ship UPL to Vancouver where he can actually get a solid chance as a starter because he ain't beating Levi, which that's true. He ain't beating Levi. I mean, Levi is definitely going to be the eventual starter.
I have no idea. But as far as
good thought, though,
it is a good thought, but I don't think it's going to work financially because I think at that point you're taking away the development years of Devin Levi if you trade for Demko.
Right.
Yeah,
that's the only benefit I would see out of that. But who knows? But as far as Stamkos goes, he actually made a quote about all this. And he says, quote, "It was something that I expressed at the end of last year that I wanted to get something done before training camp. I would love to extend and play here and finish up my career here in Tampa Bay, but that's out of my hands and I can't write a contract for myself."
Oh, and Andy was saying that they saved cap by getting rid of Demko, at least on Vancouver side of things. And just a real quick in-game update, Mets just went up 7-2, solo shot from Brett B.A.D.
Nice.
Over the Marlins.
Yep.
What about the Pirates?
Oh, yeah, I got to check that because I have Keller in fantasy. I have, I think 3 or 4 starting pitchers going tonight. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're destroying the Marlins.
Pirates are up 8-6.
Yeah, and then they play the Phillies tomorrow in Philadelphia, so that's
How
that.
did Keller do that?
But in general, though, I don't see Stamkos staying in Tampa Bay based on his demand. He's not what he used to be, and he's been injury prone for the decade of his contract, or at least since he's been in the NHL. He's a hell of a player, no question, and he's a Stanley Cup winner, multiple times over. But
damn good
based
leader.
on just negotiations of his contract and just based on everything that's being said in the locker room in Tampa Bay and the financing and all that, I don't know if they're going to be able to afford him because they clearly had to let Alex Killorn go. And, Tampa Bay is going to have to make some moves. They have no choice at this point. Vasilevsky just signed an extension a couple of years ago, and then Stamkos is a UFA after this year. So I've already heard rumors that the Bruins might be interested, but I think at that point, the Bruins will probably be heading into a decline. So it almost defeats the purpose of getting Stamkos to begin with.
And a lot of their free agents for next summer aren't really big contracts.
Right. Right, it's a good point. And actually, we'll close out on this point too. Andy mentioned Levi's a rookie. He can't take on 60 to 70 games on already. Demko is 27, has playoff experience, and has a 3-year contract with a $5 million hit, which is doable. So I mean, that's actually not too bad because I thought Demko had more of a cap hit.
Logan Thompson is cheaper, and he's only 26.
So, time will tell. What happens,
and for those who want to know, I actually made a video lately on my channel, but it is on the Buffalo After Dark, Facebook page. If anybody wants to check it out, I made a theory or a speculation video about Logan Thompson coming to the Sabres, possibly demanding a trade and whatever. But we'll see how it plays out. I mean, we really don't know, but we'll just see how it goes.
Yep. Definitely. So yeah, so all is good, but we had a quick hour. I know we started off a little bit later, but good hour and 10-minute show. So before we wrap up, any other last thoughts from anybody?
Nope. I'm
Yeah,
good.
just one quick thing on the Ohtani procedure. It was actually the same doctor that did Aaron Rodgers' procedure.
Go
Interesting.
figure.
All right.
Yeah. And Andy basically ended up mentioning he thinks Logan Thompson will possibly command more money. So who knows? Time will tell what happens on that whole situation, but it'll be interesting either way. And with that being said, bottom of the 8th, Marlins are trailing the Mets. So good stuff to hear there. I might be seeing them next weekend. So down in Pittsburgh. So we'll see what happens with that. Which, if that does happen, you will see another Road to 32 episode. Which, if you haven't checked out the episode that we had when I was down in New York City, definitely check that out. And obviously, there will be one for Washington when Bobby does that. And there's also a new one up with his most recent Mets game as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's a lot to look forward to in the start of the season.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. And then I will say this, Sophia, we have your Sabres box ready for you too. So I'll reach out to your mom and, we'll get that coordinated so you guys get everything we got you. So we hope you like it. Keep fighting, keep doing us proud. So definitely want to say that. And with that being said, it's another week. So here we are, end of the show. Thanks for everybody who ended up jumping on. And actually, we have another person that's we've never seen in the chat before. So Chris Lasky, welcome to the fun and festivities. And we'll end on his comment. He said he'll pass on Thompson. The rumor is a week old. Rather not give up as many assets for Thompson. So he's basically taking the same approach that Andy's taken, which is definitely not a bad.
With what money? Because they can't afford anything else. They can only take in one player and a couple of picks.
Yeah. So we'll see what goes on, but definitely a story we'll continue to follow, obviously, as we go further. But Sabres did a great job in the prospects tournament, so happy to see that. And anyone who is going to the arena this fall, Perry Street is now known as RJ Way.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So very nice, well deserved. May he rest in peace. So
rest in peace.
So absolutely. But that being said, thanks everybody for joining us. We appreciate you. Join us on our YouTube channel. Our show will be up on there within the next day or so. Visit us on Spotify as well if you want to listen to us on the go. All of our season 4 episodes are going to be on there. And of course, thanks Brittany for handling that for all of us and dealing with our craziness. But with that, take care of yourselves and each other. We'll see you next week.
Have a great night.
Until next time.